Hello from Sheffield, where we are on the very last bit of the book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verses 1 through 25. We've reached the end of this colossal, phenomenal book of wisdom and advice and challenge. And the very end of this amazing book, the writer gives some closing advice to the Hebrew people. And he begins, love one another. How many times through the whole Bible do we read this verse? Love one another. Jesus said it. Paul said it, Timothy said it, and now the Hebrews are saying it, and we all know it, but we're so bad at it. Love one another. The two great commandments: love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind and strength. Love your neighbour as yourself. It was my fellow Irishman compatriot Bono, the lead singer of the greatest rock group ever, U2, who said, love your neighbour was not a piece of advice, it was a command. And so the writer of the Hebrews goes on to give us some examples about how we can show this loving to one another. He says, always show hospitality to the stranger. Jesus said, whatever you did for the least of these, you did for me. St. Benedict, the ancient monk, the founder of the Benedictine order, said you should treat every stranger as if they were Christ himself. So as we're walking down a street and see someone homeless or someone drunk or someone causing a mess and a nightmare, we should treat that person as if they were Christ himself. Then we get this real encouragement to support those and encourage those who are in prison. That's why I love the Alpha in Prisons program, because we are called not to be like the tabloid press who say the prisoners should be locked up and throw away the key. We're called to show compassion to those in prison because they're human beings who God loves. And then in verse 7, the writer says, remember those who first told you the gospel. Think for a second, who was it who first shared the gospel with you? Your Sunday school teacher, your youth leader? When was the last time you told them, hey, you know something? My life is so much better because of your life and your ministry. You'll blow their socks off with blessing and joy. Verse 8, the writer tells us, Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. The God who raised Jesus from the dead, the God who put the world in space, the God who threw the stars into heaven, is the God who loves you and the God who's with you. Whatever you're facing today in school or college or in your family or trouble in your heart, whatever you're anxious about, God is the same yesterday, today and tomorrow. You can trust him with what's going on in your life. And in the very last bit of the whole book of Hebrews, the writer says, may God's grace be with you. The grace that says there is nothing that you can do that will make God love you anymore, because he loves you absolutely. And there is nothing that you can do that will make God love you any less, because he loves you absolutely. As we finish the book of Hebrews, that's my prayer for you, that you would know God's grace, live in God's grace, show God's grace, and extend God's grace to the people you meet in the course of this day. God bless you. Have a great day.